Just imagine for a moment taking a walk alone in the woods, the leaves under your feet, and you decide to stray off the main path. And you're in the middle of the trees, the leaves beneath your feet, and everywhere you look there's different trees, but the path is no longer in sight. And this feels like such a perfect metaphor for the awakening journey. Because awakening isn't just about becoming more peaceful or more spiritual. It's actually a kind of detox of the energetic system, almost like a detox of the soul. And when we begin the awakening journey, we don't just gain something new. We start to shed. We shed old thought patterns that have kept us stuck, old emotions that have been stored in the body, old identities that no longer serve, old woundings, old relationships, old memories and stories about who we thought we were. And this is almost like parasites leaving the system. I've noticed online there's a lot of people discussing parasite cleansers, and it's kind of like a new fad that seems to be taking hold, but I think it's also an important physical cleansing of the body. And those parasites once survived on our energy, but no longer can. And this doesn't happen all at once, because if it did, it would just be way too much for the whole of the energetic body and the physical body. It comes in waves, as I've discussed many times before. Light coming in, bringing up to the surface everything that needs to be released, which is the clearing. Then there's a pause, and then a recalibration, and then a kind of resurgence of a new energy. And this process just continues until it doesn't. Another clearing, another pause, another clearing, another pause. And I used to find that really frustrating, when you feel really good after quite a difficult time, where you realise I've let go of so much. Why is it happening again? After that period of euphoria, of the new realisations and the new knowledge and information and the new version of you, and then we have another wave of it. And I realised that if it did happen all at once, as I've just mentioned, the nervous system simply could not manage it. So I've just learnt to be softer with that. And there is a point in each wave where the old has been released, but the new hasn't fully formed yet, and that can feel like a bit of a strange place. There can be uncertainty and emptiness, a flatness, a bit like the video I talked about, are you feeling a bit blur yesterday? Disorientation. Who am I now? What do I even want anymore? And this is the in-between space. This part of the forest has no visible path, and it can feel uncomfortable because the mind wants certainty, it wants direction, it wants answers. But the soul is doing something very intelligent here. It's asking for nourishment. Not more effort, not more fixing, not more striving, but restoration. And in this point, you may notice quite subtly Things that you once gravitated towards no longer appeal. That might be certain TV shows, certain foods, certain habits that you've always done. Conversations with people that you used to be able to just do, even if it was just small talk. Even certain people. And some things might actually just feel so repulsive almost that you just can't engage in it anymore. No drama, noise, old coping mechanisms. And this isn't you becoming superior or disconnected. And if the superior feeling comes up, then just have that in check, knowing that everybody is where they are and it's perfect for them, but it just doesn't feel right for you anymore, and putting your needs first for you, but not in a superior way. It's just simply that your system can no longer tolerate what blocks your natural unfolding process. And this detox can be physical, emotional, mental, ancestral, or from other parallel lifetimes. And I've noticed in sessions that it actually doesn't matter if you consciously know where that is from or what's being released, as long as you just recognise it as release and can just let that go. You might just recognise it by the symptoms that you're feeling, which could be fatigue or emotional waves, feeling blur, wanting to be alone more, really wanting to be out in nature, wanting to be quiet, wanting simplicity, simple foods, simple activities, maybe just gentle movements of the body, yoga, tai chi. Just like a physical detox, when the toxins leave the body, it doesn't always feel good on the way out. And out here in the woods, there isn't a clear path, but that doesn't mean that there isn't one. That path will appear when the timing is right, if we can just surrender and allow the process to happen without trying to resist it. And this is true on the awakening journey too. We don't need to force clarity. We don't need to rush to the next step in doing mode. Just walking gently and just taking in the surroundings and just trusting that the ground will meet us when we place our next foot down. And sometimes the most sacred thing we can do is to rest, listen, nourish, and allow. An awakening isn't about becoming something new and striving for that. It's about removing everything that isn't true. Every layer that falls away reveals more of your natural radiance and your authenticity. And yes, there are moments where it feels like, I don't know who I am anymore. I don't know what to do anymore. I don't know what my path is. But that moment there is actually the doorway. The soul reorganising itself, the frequency recalibrating, and the whole system becoming more of a coherent whole. It's not breakdown, it's refinement. So if you're in that phase right now, where you feel uncertain, unsettled, or in between, know that it's not a mistake. It's that pause between breaths, the winter before spring, a clearing before the new path reveals itself. And this is when the soul just asks for gentleness, nature, rest, nourishment. Not answers, not searching, not urgency, but trust. You don't need to see the whole path. And the energies that we're moving into are meaning that the old systems no longer work anymore. And we're being asked to become more comfortable with just going with the flow and not knowing what the next 20 steps are ahead. that old thing in interviews where they say, what's your 5-year plan, just is no longer relevant. You just need to take the next step, and the next step is simply to stand still and let the forest speak to you. Let the forest guide you. Awakening isn't a straight road, it's a wild, sacred walk through the woods of your own becoming. And every shedding that you go through, every detox and every blur moment is making space for more light to live through you. Thank you for listening.